my precious child. You are precious to me, and this is the reason I speak directly to your heart now. Take my words to your heart, for they are urgent and need to be addressed immediately. In the quiet moments of your doubt, when shadows lengthen and your spirit grows weary, remember that I have known you since before time began. I have woven every fiber of your being with purpose, crafted every moment of your journey with infinite care. The path ahead, my beloved, will indeed grow more challenging. I tell you this not to discourage you, but because I trust you with this truth. Just as a loving parent prepares their child for the road ahead, I prepare you now. The mountains before you may seem insurmountable, the valleys deeper than you've known before, but remember, it is often in the deepest valleys that my voice echoes most clearly. In the days to come, you will witness the world shifting like sand beneath your feet. Traditional foundations that once seemed unshakable will tremble, and the certainties of yesterday will give way to questions that shake the very core of human understanding. But do not let your heart be troubled, for I remain unchanged, unchangeable, your eternal cornerstone in times of transformation. Remember the ancient cedars of Lebanon, how they stand tall through countless seasons of storm and sunshine. Their roots run deep into the earth, drawing strength from hidden springs. So too must your faith sink deep roots into my eternal promises. When the winds of change howl and the storms of life rage, these roots will hold you steady, nourished by the living waters of my presence. I see the tears you shed in secret, the burdens you carry in silence. I feel every tremor of fear that courses through your heart, every moment of uncertainty that keeps you awake in the dark hours of night. Know this, not a single tear falls without my notice. Not one sigh escapes my attention. I collect each one, precious as pearls, testimonies to your faithfulness in times of trial. The light I have placed within you will grow brighter as the darkness deepens. For just as stars shine most brilliantly against the blackest night, so will your faith illuminate the way for others when shadows gather. You are my beacon, carefully positioned exactly where you need to be. The struggles you face are not punishments, but preparation. Each challenge strengthens your spirit, refines your purpose, and deepens your capacity to carry my love to a world in desperate need of hope. In the times ahead, you will see many turn away from truth, choosing instead to embrace comfortable illusions. The path of righteousness will often feel lonely, and the weight of standing firm in your faith may seem too heavy to bear. But remember, my child, you never walk alone. My spirit goes before you, beside you, behind you, and within you. When your strength fails, mine is made perfect in your weakness. But I am calling you to a higher understanding, a deeper walk with me. The comfortable patterns of superficial faith must give way to a more profound relationship with my spirit. Just as gold must pass through fire to be purified, so must your faith be tested to emerge stronger, purer, more radiant. These trials are not meant to destroy you, but to reveal the unshakable core of who you are in me. Do not fear the questions that arise in your heart, the moments of doubt that cloud your vision. These are not signs of failure, but opportunities for growth. Bring your questions to me, wrestle with them in my presence. I am not threatened by your uncertainty, I welcome your honest seeking. For in these moments of searching, our relationship deepens, and your understanding expands beyond the boundaries of simple answers into the vast expanse of my wisdom. The world will offer you many substitutes for my truth, glittering distractions, hollow comforts, temporary solutions to eternal questions. But you, my beloved, are called to walk in a different light. The path I set before you may not be the easiest, but it leads to life abundant, to depths of joy that the world cannot give and cannot take away. In the days ahead, you will see division among brothers, confusion in the places of worship, and uncertainty in the hearts of many who once seemed strong. But remember this, I am not the author of confusion. My voice, though sometimes quiet, remains clear. When the voices of the world clamor for attention, learn to distinguish mine. It is the voice that speaks peace to your storms, that calls you to love when hatred seems easier, that guides you toward truth, even when that truth comes at a cost. You will be tempted to rush ahead in your own strength, to forge your own path when my timing seems too slow. But remember the children of Israel in the wilderness. I led them with a pillar of cloud by day and fire by night. Sometimes they remained in one place for days, sometimes for months. Learn from their journey. There is purpose in the waiting, strength gained in the desert places, wisdom found in the times of apparent stillness. The enemy will whisper that you are alone, that your struggles are unique, that no one understands the depth of your pain or the weight of your calling. But I tell you now, you are part of an eternal tapestry, woven together with all my faithful ones throughout time. The prayers of the saints encompass you, the courage of martyrs runs in your spiritual veins. The faith of generations stands as a testimony to my faithfulness. When you feel weak, remember David before Goliath. It was not his strength, but his faith in me that brought victory. When you feel inadequate, remember Moses. It was not his eloquence, but his obedience that parted the sea. When you feel afraid, remember Esther. It was not her position, but her willingness to stand for truth that saved her people. Your weakness becomes the stage upon which my strength performs its greatest works. I am calling you to a new level of trust, a deeper surrender, a more complete dependence on my Spirit. The challenges ahead will require nothing less. But know this, I never call without enabling, never lead without providing, never command without empowering. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead dwells in you, empowering you for every good work I have prepared in advance for you to do. There will be times when you must stand alone, when your faith will be tested in the fires of isolation. In these moments, remember that the greatest victories of faith often come in solitary places. It was alone in prison that Joseph learned to trust my timing. It was alone in the wilderness that John the Baptist prepared the way. It was alone in exile that John received the revelation. Your moments of solitude are not abandonment, but preparation for greater purpose. The world grows increasingly hostile to my truth, but do not let this discourage you. Instead, let it remind you of my words that in this world you will have trouble, but take heart, for I have overcome the world. Your light shines brightest against the darkest backdrop. Your love speaks loudest in an atmosphere of hate. Your peace testifies most powerfully in times of chaos. I am calling you to be a carrier of my presence in an increasingly unstable world. This calling requires a strength beyond your own, a wisdom higher than human understanding, a love deeper than natural affection. But remember, I never call you to walk in your own strength. My grace is sufficient for you, and my power is made perfect in your weakness. In the times ahead, you will see many miraculous answers to prayer alongside many apparent silences. Learn to trust me in both. The same love that multiplied the loaves and fishes sometimes allowed my servants to go hungry that they might learn to feast on my word. The same power that opened prison doors for Peter allowed Paul to remain in chains that he might write epistles of eternal significance. Trust that I am working in all things for your good and my glory. Keep your eyes fixed, not on the temporal but on the eternal. The troubles of this world, though real and sometimes severe, are light and momentary compared to the eternal weight of glory being prepared for you. Let this eternal perspective guide your decisions, shape your priorities, and strengthen your resolve when the path grows steep. Remember that the light I have given you is not for your benefit alone. You are called to be a light in the darkness, a voice of hope in despair, a bearer of truth in confusion. The trials you overcome become testimonies that strengthen others. The comfort you receive in affliction enables you to comfort others with the comfort you yourself have received from me. Do not be surprised when old wounds are reopened, when past struggles resurface, when familiar temptations return. These are opportunities for deeper healing, for more complete victory, for stronger testimony. The enemy of your soul means these things for evil, but I will use them for good, transforming your areas of greatest weakness into platforms for my greatest strength. The path ahead requires courage, my child, not the absence of fear, but the determination to move forward in spite of it. It requires faith, not perfect understanding, but perfect trust in my character and promises. It requires love, not mere emotion, but a conscious choice to extend grace even when it costs everything. Know that I am with you always, even to the end of the age. The same hands that hold the stars in place hold you. The same voice that called light out of darkness calls you beloved. The same love that went to the cross goes with you into every battle, every valley, every moment of uncertainty. Hold fast to my promises. Let my word be a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. When the way seems unclear, when doubts assail, when strength fails, return to these words. For they are spirit and they are life, able to sustain you through the darkest night, until the dawn breaks and shadows flee away. For I am leading you toward eternity, toward a glory that far outweighs every trial, every tear, every moment of struggle. Keep your eyes fixed on this eternal horizon. Let it be your compass when the path grows dim, your anchor when storms rage, your hope when circumstances seem hopeless. Remember, my precious child, you are never alone, never forgotten, never without purpose, never beyond my reach, never outside my love. These words I speak to you now are your inheritance, your foundation, your source of strength for the journey ahead. Walk forward in confidence, not in yourself, but in my unfailing love and endless grace. For though the path may be difficult, my light will never fail to guide you home. My beloved child, today I speak to your heart with tender urgency, for I see the battles you face in this ever-accelerating world. I watch as the demands of life pull you in countless directions, fragmenting your attention and draining your spirit. This is why I must speak to you about something crucial to your spiritual survival, the vital importance of spending time in my presence each day. 10 minutes, it may seem so brief in the span of 24 hours. Yet these precious moments, when given to me with sincere heart, become the foundation of your spiritual strength and the wellspring of your victory. Do not underestimate the power of these sacred minutes, for they are your spiritual lifeline in these turbulent times. I see how the enemy of your soul works tirelessly to fill every moment of your day with distractions. The constant notifications, the endless tasks, the perpetual noise, these are not innocent coincidences but calculated strategies to keep you from entering my presence. The adversary knows that a believer who maintains daily communion with me becomes an unstoppable force in the spiritual realm. This is why he fights so desperately to break this habit in your life. When you skip these moments of connection, even for a day, you create a small crack in your spiritual armor. The enemy is patient and cunning. He doesn't need a wide breach to begin his work. A missed day becomes two become a week, and slowly, almost imperceptibly, your spiritual defenses begin to weaken. This is how footholds are established, not through dramatic falls, but through the subtle erosion of holy habits. Remember, my child, that I created you for relationship. Just as your physical body requires daily nourishment, your spirit needs regular communion with me to thrive. These 10 minutes are not a religious duty to be checked off your list, but a love appointment with your Creator, a sacred space where heaven touches earth in your life. In these moments of fellowship, I long to speak wisdom into your confusion, pour strength into your weakness, and infuse hope into your despair. But I cannot force these blessings upon you. You must choose to enter my presence. The decision to set aside these minutes is a declaration of trust, a statement that you value our relationship above the pressing demands of your day. I understand the struggle, my beloved. I see how exhaustion weighs upon you, how responsibilities pile up like mountains before you. There are days when even 10 minutes seems an impossible gift to give. But consider this: you always find time for what you truly value. You make time to eat, to check your messages, to engage with social media. Are these things more vital than communion with your God? When you consistently enter my presence, even for these brief moments, remarkable transformations begin to unfold. Your spiritual senses become sharper, enabling you to discern my voice more clearly amidst the world's clamor. Your resistance to temptation strengthens, for you carry my presence with you throughout the day. Your decisions become wiser, guided by the wisdom absorbed in these quiet moments with me. But when you neglect this time, the enemy gains ground in subtle ways. Your spiritual discernment dulls, making it harder to distinguish truth from deception. Your emotional resilience weakens, leaving you more vulnerable to anxiety and fear. Your decisions become more influenced by worldly wisdom than divine guidance. These are the footholds the adversary seeks, not always through obvious sin, but through spiritual negligence. Do not be deceived into thinking that you can maintain your spiritual strength without this daily connection. Even the mightiest oak cannot survive without consistent nourishment from its roots. You are no different, my child. Your spiritual roots must daily draw sustenance from my presence to withstand the storms of life. These 10 minutes can take many forms: reading my word, sitting in quiet meditation, pouring out your heart in prayer, or simply being still and knowing that I am God. The format matters less than the faithfulness of your practice. What matters is that you come, that you make space in your day to encounter me. I see some of you struggling with guilt over past inconsistency. Let me be clear: I do not speak these words to condemn, but to awaken and protect. Every day is a new opportunity to establish this sacred habit. Do not let past failures prevent you from beginning anew today. My mercies are new every morning, and my grace is sufficient to help you establish this pattern of fellowship. Consider setting a specific time for our daily meeting. Just as you schedule important appointments, set aside these minutes as a non-negotiable appointment with me. Whether it's early morning before the day's demands begin, during your lunch break, or in the quiet evening hours, choose a time and guard it jealously. The enemy will fight this commitment with everything at his disposal. Unexpected interruptions will arise. Urgent tasks will suddenly demand attention. Weariness will whisper, that you can skip just this once. These are not coincidences but calculated attacks on your spiritual discipline. Recognize them for what they are and stand firm in your commitment. Remember, my beloved, that I am not a harsh taskmaster demanding perfection. I am your loving Father, eagerly awaiting these moments of connection with you. When you miss a day, don't let shame keep you away. Return to me immediately. My arms are always open, my presence always available to you. In these daily moments, I will prepare you for the challenges ahead. Through this consistent communion, I will strengthen you for battles you cannot yet see, equip you with wisdom for decisions you haven't yet faced, and fill you with peace for storms that have not yet arrived. This is preventative spiritual care, building your defenses before the enemy attacks. Let these 10 minutes become your spiritual anchor, a daily reminder that you are not alone in your journey. Let them be your declaration of dependence on me, your recognition that apart from me, you can do nothing of eternal value. Let them be your act of spiritual warfare, actively resisting the enemy's attempts to separate you from your source of strength. As you establish this practice, you will discover that 10 minutes often naturally expands. Your spirit will begin to crave more time in my presence, and what began as discipline will transform into delight. This is the beautiful progression of spiritual growth from duty to desire, from discipline to devotion. Remember, my child, that every great move of my spirit throughout history was preceded by people who prioritized time in my presence. Every spiritual awakening was birthed in the quiet moments of faithful communion. Your 10 minutes may seem insignificant, but they are part of a greater spiritual momentum, joining with the prayers and devotion of my people across the globe. Do not underestimate the strategic importance of these daily moments. They are not just about personal refreshment, they are about maintaining your position in the spiritual battle. A believer who is consistently connected to me becomes a threat to the enemy's plans, a light that pushes back darkness, a channel through which my power can flow to impact others. So I urge you, my precious one, establish this daily practice. Guard these minutes as you would guard your most valuable possession, for in truth they are far more precious. Let nothing steal this time from you, for in protecting these moments, you protect your spiritual vitality, your peace, your victory, and your destiny in me. Come to me daily, beloved. 10 minutes in my presence will transform your 24 hours. Don't allow the enemy to steal this crucial connection. Your spiritual life depends on it more than you know. With eternal love and urgent concern, your Heavenly Father.